Welcome to the third Entities video. In this video, we're going to take a look at how you can add in weapons and NPCs, or non-player characters, into your maps, as well as how to look at some special effects like explosions and how you can link entities to brushes.
We're indeed going to look at explosions. But first, let's go ahead and spawn in a weapon. We're going to type in weapon _357, which is a magnum. Going to spawn it in front of the character, and let's go ahead and spawn in some enemies.
Enemies, that's right.
I'll hit the entity tool again, and I'll go npc __, thank you. Combine _s.
All right.
I'm going to spawn 2 combines, and let's go ahead and turn one of them around. Hit apply, and there we go.
So one actually keeps watch, the other one stares at the wall.
Yeah,
excellent.
That beautiful wall. Then we're going to go ahead and spawn a citizen to help us fight these combines. So let's go npc _citizen.
All right.
And go ahead and spawn him. Double click on him to go to his properties, and let's change him so that he's a female. Just
so that's under the model parameter.
Model, you can go females, males, and you can't apparently use this.
Cool. Well, that's why it says, yeah. Odessa, do not use.
That's right. Hit the apply button.
Okay.
And let's go ahead and give her a weapon. So crowbar wouldn't do much good. Let's go ahead and give her a shotgun.
Cool.
Hit apply again.
A girl with a shotgun.
That's right. Next, let's go ahead and add some path corners so that she can walk forward and backwards in this hallway.
Okay.
Again, entities, and type path _corner. Go ahead and add one.
Mm-hmm. And
name it P1. Naming is pretty important when dealing with paths, because one is going to link to the other and so on.
Okay.
I'm going to hit the apply button, and I'm going to duplicate this from the top view.
You don't have to call those P1. You can call them whatever you want.
Okay. I'm going to shift and drag this one. So now we got 2 paths, and you'll notice there's a link between them. If we go into the first one, it's actually linked to the next up target P2, and this one is named P2. Now what we want to do is go ahead and take P2 and make it next up target P1, so that now the NPC will walk backward and forward.
Ah, gotcha. But using the same method, you could make her walk really anywhere you needed to.
That's right. Now let's go ahead and tell the NPC that it indeed got a walk path to follow. So go ahead and double click it and say target path corner. We can either go and just type it in manually, or we can use the pick tool and press the path corner we want it to go to first.
Excellent.
So yeah, hit apply, and let's go ahead and test this out.
You want to go ahead and delete that corpse?
Oh yeah, let's delete that first.
We don't really need that stuff anymore. It was cool for testing.
Yeah.
So here we go, back to loading again. Lots of loading. Yes.
Loading.
That's right.
Loading.
Almost there.
Oh. So yeah, the map is running, and we indeed got a magnum in front of us.
Nice.
Let's go ahead and pick it up.
And there's the girl with the shotgun.
She's pretty male, but I'm assuming we didn't hit the apply button.
Oh, so, okay. I was going to say, that's not a girl with a shotgun. The closer we got, I was like,
or a funky female model. I don't know.
That's an ugly girl.
Let's go ahead and... You like her, Zach. Write in Impulse 101 so our heart will show. Let's go ahead and hit the magnum again, and we'll notice that when we go close to him, he'll actually follow us.
We already have the squad following us.
He's following us. Let's go ahead and attack the combines.
It's the combine!
Come on, follow, help.
He's not that smart, is he?
No, he's not right now. I'm about to die. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Leave him there. Oh.
Well, he took care of him for you.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
So... Oh, never mind. So yeah, that worked pretty well.
Blow your friend up.
Yeah. So now let's go ahead and add in the explosion and the walls and the triggers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Hit the quit button, and go back to hammer. So, to add in a wall that will explode, we'll need to tie an entity to a brush. So first let's go ahead and make the brush, go to side view and hit the block tool and just block out actually let's go ahead and adjust the grid first. There you go, snap to the corners of you know how this works, I don't need to tell you.
Just make sure it's not actually passing through any of the other walls.
And you'll notice we have a little problem over here, but that will be fixed later. Go to the top view and let's see. About there looks pretty good. So yeah, let's go ahead and right click, create object, and just for convenience sake and just to be safe, let's go ahead and resnap this to the grid.
Okay.
So that if it wasn't really working, now it should. Next, let's go ahead and retexture this, because right now it got the same texture and it doesn't look too good. So I'll go ahead and select all of the walls.
Okay, cool.
With using the control button.
So
there you go.
And you give them all the same texture?
Yeah, that's right. Because this was for testing purposes only.
Sure,
and
so we
don't
bang
really
on the metal.
No. Let's go ahead and browse, and we want a wall. Let's type in wall and find something interesting. Brick wall or concrete wall. Concrete's fun. Let's go ahead and hit apply, and we can live with that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. That'll do.
Yeah. So now what we want to do is take this piece of geometry where we tied the wall and go ahead and hit the to entity button, and this will tie it to an entity. When we hit this button, the properties will come up and we'll need to select what entity we want to tie it with.
Okay.
And this particular object we want to tie with a function underscore breakable. Breakable.
Breakable.
There you go. Go ahead and hit apply.
I know English is a rough language.
English, poor English. Material type we wanted to crush like it's rock, and let's see, prop data we wanted to show medium-sized stones when it's crushed.
Okay, so that'll be like the debris that comes out when it explodes.
That's right. We're going to go to flags, and we're going to say break immediately on physics. So this will mean that when our explosion happens, this wall will break.
Cool.
Now what we want to do is go ahead and add in the explosion entity, and let's go ahead and write env underscore explosion. Explosion. Go ahead and put that into the world. This particular entity will only show the explosion, so nothing would really happen if we had physical objects around it.
I gotcha. So it's just kind of a visual effect.
That's right. So we're also going to go ahead and add the nb underscore phi explosion.
All right.
Next to it. What we're going to do is go ahead and name these since they're important when dealing with triggers. So we'll call this phi x underscore 1.
Wait a minute. Hang on. That's
That's close. Phi x.
There you go. That's a lot better.
Apply and env x underscore 1.
All right. Cool.
So there you go. What I want to do is go ahead and delete this barrel since it's going to explode and maybe cause some confusion when we're testing it out.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and take these boxes and duplicate them a bit so that it will get a shattered effect when we walk through the hole.
All right.
And I am going to go ahead and add a new brush because we need a trigger. Because right now nothing really causes these to explode. So what we want is tie a special entity to a brush that'll do so that when the player enters that brush, the explosion will happen.
Cool.
So to do this, let's go ahead and add a block, a new block. The best is to make it go from the roof to the floor. It doesn't need to be that wide. That's okay. We just need the player to pass it and go ahead and right-click and create it.
Okay.
We're going to add the tools trigger texture. And this texture won't do anything by itself, but when the player won't see it.
Okay.
It won't trigger anything, but the player won't see it in game.
Right. The texture itself holds no functionality.
Okay.
But it does hide the object.
That's right. So let's go ahead and hit the to entity button again, and we want the trigger once entity. Go ahead and hit apply, and go ahead and name this trigger _1 in case we need it. Now, to do this, we'll need to deal with inputs and outputs, and I'm going to go ahead and turn ignore grouping off. If ignore grouping is turned on, you can't go ahead and hide choose the properties of the brush tied to the entity. You'll only get the properties of the brush.
Okay.
So go ahead and turn this off, and we'll see the properties. Go into the output and inputs, and to show this, the easiest way is just to do it. We can add a special output. So what's our output names? On start trigger.
Okay.
So when the player, when this field is triggered.
All right.
What do we want to deal with? NVEX, environment explosion _1. What do we want to do to it? We want it to explode. So we're gonna go and hit apply, copy, and paste it again, because now only the environment explosion is exploding. Gonna go ahead and choose fire explosion _1, and you'll notice that when you hit apply, the inputs change, but both of these entities have the explode feature. So we're just gonna go ahead and hit apply again.
So you'll notice that when we added in the name of the entity that we were tying to, we got this little icon down here in the corner. If you
show that it has output.
Right, that's a way for you to know that a connection has taken place. If you mess something up and you don't get a connection, you'll see a red bar through that icon.
That's right. We also want to hit this because we only want this to fire once. We don't want it to explode constantly while we walk through the trigger. That would be kind of
That would be cool, though.
Kind of cool. So now what we want to do is go ahead and take the wall and make it break immediately in physics. It's already checked, so that's good. Let me go ahead and snap this one more time just to be sure, because if any world geometry is into the breakable wall, it will break on map start.
Okay.
So just to be safe. There you go. It should work now. So yeah.
All right.
Let's go ahead and test this out.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
Loading.
This is going to be so cool.
Yeah, if it works.
It's
going to work. Of
it's
course
gonna
it's going to
work. Come on, what's this if it works stuff? You'd think you were Danish or something. Oh, I'm sorry.
Everybody picks on me. I get so frustrated.
Danish people are cool.
I'm going to talk to Jay about this.
Actually, I had a Danish guy taught me 3ds Max.
That's awesome. So, our NPC is walking backward and forward, even though it's a male, or really ugly female. Let's go ahead and walk into the trigger area, and boom!
And wait, the wall's still there.
Still there. That's not good.
No.
Let's go ahead and see what. Oh, let's just go ahead and hit no. Oh, just a second. Hit the cancel button.
Weren't there some lights down there on that end too that don't seem to be on?
There you go. No, that's just a spotlight.
Oh, okay.
But we'll notice that there was indeed an explosion.
The combine's killing us now.
Die.
And your inability to hit a target's not really helping us out either.
We'll notice that the explosion indeed scattered the boxes all over the place, even though they're gone now.
They faded away.
And they left an explosion.
Okay.
So that's good so far.
So we just need to diagnose what happened with our wall.
Let's go ahead and see. And I think the problem is that our explosions currently doesn't do any damage.
Yeah, that would really do it.
So here the physics explosion is currently set to no damage. That's by default. So if we click this off, it should work.
Which is why it hit the boxes, because it is applying force.
That's right.
That makes sense.
Now, what we also might want to do is make these players, because what we want is an effect that this wall explodes and these combine just go off. Like they exploded.
Oh, like they blew the wall in, they're now coming to get us?
That's right. So, let's go ahead and choose the front view and move them over here and just move them around a little bit, and this will make sense in just a bit.
I hope so, because now I'm confused.
Yeah. So okay, let's just go ahead and, because that doesn't look too good if they just facing away, just like that. There you go. Now NPCs can be set to a sleep state where you can't see them, and that's what we want to do, because we don't want these to be visible before the wall is broken.
Okay. Now, do we want them to appear out here where everybody's watching?
Yeah, because we're going to add some smoke, so the smoke is going to start first, then the player's going to come and going to look like they just bounced off out of the hole. So let's go ahead and choose sleep state, and we're going to wait for an input.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them. There you go. Then what we're going to do is go ahead and apply an entity that's called environment _ Steam. I'm going to add that between the two NPCs, and we're going to lift it a little above the ground so that the smoke doesn't emit from the bottom. We're going to go ahead and adjust this. So initial state is off. That's good, because we want to turn it on when the wall breaks. Spread speed, you want to play around with this. I've just chosen some numbers that I know will look good.
So it's some stuff that you've been kind of playing with on your own.
Yeah, and you'll have to play with this stuff on your own, because...
But what do the attributes do? What is spread speed going to do?
Spread speed is going to show how fast they spread from each other.
Okay.
Speed is how fast they move.
Mm-hmm.
Particle start size is how big the sprites are when they spawn. Particle end size is how big they are when they fade away. Emission rate is how fast they're going to get out from the emitter. And length of jet stream is how long they're going to live.
Okay. Length of steam. I guess they couldn't possibly call it smoke. Because,
what they want to call it.
It's got to be steam.
It's Steam.
Yeah.
Just because they have a cool app called Steam.
That's right.
So yeah, now most of it should work. Let's go ahead and say when the wall breaks. So we're going to double click the wall and turn off ignore grouping. This will bite you sometimes. Go to the outputs, add a new one, and say when this wall breaks.
Okay.
We need to rename this. So we're gonna call it Smoke EM. Smake emitter. Like that. We're also gonna name this Combine 1 and Combine 2.
Or C1 and C2.
Yeah, whatever you want. And we're gonna put them in the same squad. And squads are basically groups of NPCs that'll interact together, so they'll fight together versus me instead of being a separate unit.
All right.
Gonna call this G1 for group 1, and the same over here. So now they're in the same group. Go ahead and apply this, and go back to the wall output. On breaks, we're gonna affect the smoke emitter, and we're gonna turn it on.
Cool.
Then we're going to add a new one. On break, we're going to go to C1, and we're gonna wake him up. But we want to wait 10 seconds.
All right.
So
he doesn't get killed by the explosion?
No, so that some of the smoke comes up before.
That makes sense.
Now we want to duplicate this and just change this to C2. And we want to go ahead and add a on break, smoke emitter, and turn it off.
So this boils down to a list of all the things that are going to happen when the wall breaks.
And we're going to turn it off after 1 second.
All right.
So first the smoke emitter goes off, the combine spawns, and then after 1 second it turns on.
Cool. Off. Awesome. Now, I do have one request.
Yeah?
Can we bring in a gravity gun? And can we move our mattress over to the other side? I really want to hit those combine guys with a mattress.
We could do that. We could change the...
Oh, we can leave the Magnum.
Oh, yeah, we could do that. So we're gonna go weapon. I can spell _ cannon, fizz cannon.
Yeah.
Gonna spawn that around here, and let's take the mattress and spawn him or move him over to the other side. There you go.
Cool.
What we also could do before we...
Now, here's a question for you. And you might even know the answer off the top of your head, but if we use a gravity gun and we pull the mattress through that trigger, is it going to trigger it?
Because right now, the trigger is set to clients. We could
good.
change this to physical objects or anything else, and it would work.
Good to know.
So, what we also might want to do, and this is just something you can play with too, is crank this up so we get a little wilder explosion.
All right.
Because wilder explosions are good. Magnitude 500.
Now you sound like Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yes, right. Explode! Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's go ahead and test this out. It should be working by now. Let's see. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and compile.
Okay.
Compiling.
I guess this is the last thing we really need to test, isn't it?
Yeah. If it works.
It'll work. With that, if it's going to work.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
It's going to work fine. Pessimistic Danish people.
Oh, it's Jay's fault.
Yeah, probably.
So, loading. There we go. Okay, so we got the gravity gun and the Magnum. Let's just go ahead and choose both of them. We'll need to drop the gravity gun. Oh, we can hit the G button and change. That's
whichever. We can reload it and fire a mattress at somebody.
So let's take the mattress.
Yay.
Go into the explode.
Boom!
Whoa!
Oh, we killed our friend and our NPCs. You killed everyone.
Whoa, that wasn't too good.
They all died.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and create out
Jake,
this
you weren't
map.
supposed to kill everybody.
I know. I just to see if it worked. Now, what we need now is another entity that's called No, just a second. What's it called? Give me 2 seconds.
Are we gonna fix the bad guys from being killed?
Yeah, because that's not what we want. We're gonna add another entity that's called filter _damage _type.
Ooh, nice.
We're gonna add that here. It won't be visible, so it doesn't matter where we add it.
Okay.
And filter mode, we're gonna put it to disallow entities that match this criteria.
Ooh.
We're gonna go to damage type, and it's currently set to blast, which is what we want.
Okay, so
right
basically, we're gonna make these guys immune to explosion damage.
That's right. And we're gonna name this filter VIL1.
All right.
I love naming. Apply.
Your naming conventions are awful, just so you know.
Thank you.
If you were on my mod team, I'd kill you.
Yeah. So, let's see. We're gonna go under the parameter that's called damage filter, and we're gonna paste in fill_1 for both of them.
Nice.
There you go. And now our bad guys should survive. Let's just... Yeah. Go ahead and play.
All right.
But our NPC is still gonna die. That's kind of sad.
Yeah, because you forgot to fix that.
Well, I wanted him to die.
No, we want to fight him. We want to hit him with a mattress. I want to hit him with a mattress.
Yeah, I know you want. So, yeah. Back again. Let's go ahead and take the mattress up and go closer. Oh, and there they are.
Yay,
and
they survived.
And that.
And you still can't shoot anything.
I shot him.
Save your life.
There you go. Yay.
Yeah.
And he kind of exploded, but that's just how it goes when you're a female and look like that.
Okay.
So, yeah. So there we have it. And one interesting thing I want to point out is that if we write... just a second.
What are you going to write? He's opened up the console, and now he's just sitting here.
What do you think I'm going to write?
Oh, it's not Impulse 101.
Mat_wireframe1, which is going to toggle on the wireframe, and you'll notice that where we had the picture of the explosion, it's actually a DK.
Ah, gotcha.
So yeah.
Decal.
Decal.
Yeah.
That's right. And if we shoot the wall, we shoot decals on the wall. Just something I wanted to point out.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
basically concludes this third video on entities.
Very nice. Well, we ended up covering a lot more than we originally meant to. I mean, we started off just wanting to show you guys, here's a couple of NPCs, here's some guns, and maybe here's an explosion. But we went on to some really cool particle effects, how to filter out damage from enemy to enemy, some nice behavior on NPCs. So really, really cool stuff. Great job, Rap, and let's go into the next video.
That's right. See ya.